Honorable Men Discord, Careful the Company You Keep, Part 3, the Nolan Wells update. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'm going to get straight to it. I have a news report which has an update of the FBI's now involvement in the passing of student athlete Nolan Wells that took place on July 4th. And I'm going to get into that, and then I have a few other things queued up, and I'll talk about it further. So let's get straight to that.
Wells' body was found on Horn Island. As the country sits and waits for the investigations to conclude, many questions are still left to be answered. Today I spoke with Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter on where the investigation stands. Speculation continues as to what happened to 18-year-old Nolan Wells over Independence Day weekend. Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter met with WLOX to give what updates he could. However, considering
this investigation is active, it's ongoing,
he wasn't able to confirm much. Ledbetter did confirm that interviews have been conducted with witnesses, and the department has been in contact with other departments and agencies, including the FBI. The investigation has benefited from information brought by the community.
This recent week, we've got a lot of valuable information that has come from the public. We put out a call to action last week for that information, and it has been very productive for us.
Many are preparing for the return of Wells' autopsy. However, toxicology testing is conducted by outside laboratories, and the analysis and review process can take several weeks. A spokesperson for the Mississippi Department of Public Safety states every case is unique and deserves a thorough review. Therefore, cases cannot all be handled the same way or in the same timeline. While theories circle social media, those who are close to Nolan are still waiting for closure, as one friend spoke in an ABC interview.
I think everybody needs to let the investigation continue and let the facts be shown. And if the fact shows that somebody harmed Nolan, I hope that there is justice brought. And if it was a tragic accident and somebody didn't speak up, I still hope justice is brought. The facts is the only thing that's going to overturn that. So that's what I'm just waiting patiently to see before I think anything else. I just know I've lost my best friend.
The probability.
So, my thumbnail has this photo in the background. Now, for some reason, for one, I came across this photo a few days ago, as many of you who have been following this case may have already seen this. But the reason why it took some time before addressing this photo is because I, like many of you all, am waiting for the autopsy results. And I know that takes some time, so I try to continue to hold out for that. But with finding that the FBI, have been in contact with the sheriff's department out there in Mississippi, I figured that that would be a good time to talk about this. Now, as far as this photo, the reason why I'm even discussing this photo now is because attorney Ben Crump posted this on his Instagram page. It's not on his X page. At the time of me putting this together, I did not see it on his X page, but I saw it on his. It still remains on his Instagram page, and I guess he's posting it like most of his other posts is to bring awareness to the case, in hopes that people that may be aware of this, may have been involved at this alleged pool party, would reach out to his office to confirm that it's true. But let me just read what he has posted for this photo. It says, this is a repost from someone by the name of Shaneen L. Tarot. Now, forgive me if I mispronounced that. Chanel Tarot. Now, I don't know if Chanel Tarot still has this on her page, but in any event, he reposted it. He made sure he just reposted it with her name. It says, Nolan Wells investigation update. The streets are talking. Now, listen, I don't know if these are facts or rumors because no official statements have been confirmed. We sometimes have to, I'm assuming this is Attorney Crump that's saying this. But in any regard, it says, we sometimes have to follow our clues until the truth is found. Here is what's discovered on social media last night. Social media allegations claim a photo exists of Nolan at a land-based pool party in Jackson County before 1 a.m. on July 5th. So basically what they're saying is that they're assuming that he actually returned to land. So the alleged story that's going on is that it was at this pool party that an argument ensued, and the owner of the home, which was one of the kids, one of the participants' parent, kicked people out of the house, but allegedly Nolan got into an argument which led into a fight, and that's, I'm gonna stop it there because, again, this hasn't been confirmed. It's allegedly, but the simple fact that it made it to Attorney Crump's page is the reason why I even made it a thumbnail, because that, to me, is something extremely substantial. If this is in fact true, again, this is allegedly, but if this is in fact true, it's definitely worthy of a discussion, because that would make a lot of this stuff that seems unexplainable and just mysterious, this would kind of explain some of the reasons why you don't hear anyone really speaking on it. Now, again, it's allegedly. There's a lot of people in this photo. You wouldn't want to believe this many people could be involved in the photo and not know anything, much like all the people that we saw from the video, all those people that were there celebrating 4th of July. You don't want to believe that no one saw him, but that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. No, there was no witnesses that came forward in regard to actually seeing Nolan, aside from the young lady who spoke on the fact that she remembers he was to return to the boat with his friends, and she did interact with him, whether it be brief. She interacted with him, and it was to her understanding that he returned to the boat with his friends. That's the only interaction that, at the time of this recording, came out from July 4th.
Very spot where the body of Nolan Wells was brought after it was recovered from the water. And his death, his mysterious death, has truly devastated this community. We're hearing now for the first time, Robin, from an eyewitness, a friend of Wells who was with him on that fateful July 4th boat trip.
I just know I've lost my best friend.
This morning, a friend of Nolan Wells, who was with the 18-year-old the day he was last seen alive, is sharing what he says happened during a July 4th boat trip to an isolated barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Trayston Shepard declined to speak with us on camera because he says he and his friends are getting threats.
We did no wrong here, and we don't understand how we're getting so much hate behind it. We all cared and loved Nolan, and nobody wanted to see Nolan die. Nobody wanted to see his life be taken so short.
Shepard addressed this viral video that investigators have been studying. Wells's parents worried it showed their son involved in a confrontation, but Shepard said that's him, not Wells.
That's the video I'm referring to. That's me yelling.
Shepard says he took a boat back from Horn Island in the late afternoon, but Wells stayed behind with a girl he had met.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they've ever hung out, was at Horn Island on July 4th.
Investigators believe. From the very spot where the body of.
That was an abrupt ending. Well, I'm going to conclude with this, because since July 4th, and since the news going national, I should say, going national is what I wanted to say, and the parents speaking on several platforms, there's been protests going on in Mississippi demanding justice and answers for the death of Nolan Wells.
Streets of Mississippi demands for transparency and truth.
And don't allow Nolan Wells' name to be forgotten.
In the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells, who disappeared after a 4th of July boat trip with friends. His body was recovered 2 days later. Investigators say he may have drowned. But his parents question why his phone was found with a friend and why he didn't leave the island with the group he arrived with. Now the family's attorney and investigators are trying to piece together what happened, asking people who were on the island to share any videos like this one from that day. Nolan's family says he was the only Black person in the group and have questioned whether race may have played a role. Tonight, his family is awaiting the results of an independent autopsy in their search for answers. In the streets of Mississippi, demands for transparency.
Listen, the question still remains for me. Why did those young men give Nolan's father a hard time when he went to their home to retrieve the car keys so he could return Nolan's vehicle back to Nolan's house? And why didn't they let the family know that they had Nolan's cell phone as well as his alleged wallet? I believe they mentioned the wallet as well. Those are the questions that I'm still concerned about, which is why I still think this is a mystery. And soon enough, we'll all know once the autopsy results come in. And I'm eager to report back. We're going to be up to episode 4 because I'm still waiting to find out what the results of the autopsy is from both sides, from the autopsy done first in Mississippi and now the one that's also being done, I believe it's Washington. So what's your thoughts on all of this? Do you think it's do you think all of the interviews that the mother and father had was worth it? I think it's worth it, but what's your thoughts on it? I think the more exposure is good. Bring more attention to it, because these things could be swept under the rug when it's only held locally, and we know that to be true. That's not just an assumption. This is a fact. You know, if there's not a lot of media attention on certain things, it just disappears. You know, problem solved by the local departments, and then it's forgotten. But this young man, unfortunately, will never grow old, never have children of his own, never have a family, never graduate from college. He deserves, to have this investigated to its fullest potential. But that's my thoughts on this. What's yours? As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button on the way out. Hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, stay honorable.